fans chasing yellow and green through every ground in the championship scene. Bags packed, scarves high, stories to share. Wherever the Canaries play, we'll be there. On the road, city, we're singing loud and proud. From the river to the terraces, we'll follow through the crowd. On the road, city, from Dublin to the Shire, we'll find the pubs, the songs, the hearts, and light the Canary fire. Fans in the stands tell us where to go, for a pint, for a bite, for the best pre-match glow. What's the town like? Where should we stay? What's the roar of your home crowd like?
Hi, football fans. Cillian O'Grady here, the Irish Flying Canary, with another episode of On the Road City, and I'm delighted to be joined by my co-host.
Yeah, good evening, and so thanks for listening once again.
Nick, we had an interesting day in Coventry at the weekend. Just for the fans at home, we're actually recording this between Coventry match and our Tinseltown derby against Wrexham on Saturday. But this obviously we'll be talking about Stoke in a few minutes. But Coventry was an interesting one at the weekend.
Yeah, definitely good day out, good bite to eat before the game, and a good game, good game of football. I've seen some of the social media fallout. Obviously, Coventry fans crying over Liam Manning's tactics of trying to niggle the Coventry players and wasting a bit of time. But look, if you'd have given me a 1-1 draw away at Coventry before the start of the match, the way Coventry have been scoring goals left, right and centre, I'd have taken it. Feels like a loss, conceding in the 96th minute, but if we're honest, it's nothing more than Coventry deserved out of the game. They had a lot more attacking presence than we did. And actually, I think they were wasting time quite a lot towards the end of the game. I don't think their right back knew what to do with the ball, trying to get it forward to score the equaliser. But they got it in the end. Look, fair result. Great day out, as it always is at Coventry. 3,000 Norwich fans there and a great atmosphere in the away end, which is all you can ask for, really.
Certainly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to our next away game, which will be a trip to Stoke. I'll be flying into Birmingham, and I think a train up, and then I just think we're probably meeting for lunch that day as well. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. One of the things I obviously admire about you, Nick, is that you travel up and down the country with your daughter Olivia. It's great to see a father and daughter enjoying football together. So I think this is
it's a real highlight for me. And look, I'm not going to hide from the fact it makes it easier for me to get out to the football every Saturday and Tuesday night, right? Because I'm taking my daughter with me. If it was just me going and I was leaving them at home, it probably wouldn't be quite so easy. But Jane is super supportive, and like I say, the fact that Olivia comes with us every week and leave her at home in a bit of peace is just makes it all the more easier to get that pass stamped every week for the football. So yeah, can't complain and really enjoy it. Really enjoy that time. Building the memories. Life's too short before you know it. The football's gone, and I've got to make the most of it.
Exactly. So that makes, I think, this evening's episode even more exciting. So on the Road City this week, we're obviously preparing for a trip up north to Stoke, and we've got a father and daughter combination here for Stoke. So Annie and Craig, you're extremely welcome to On the Road City. We'll start by introducing yourselves and maybe just tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming and staying Stoke fans.
Yeah, well, my name's Craig, 49, been following Stoke for about 40 odd years now, so seen a few good times, not as many as I would like. Premier League here in Europe. Since we got relegated from the Premier League, it's not been great, although the start of this season's looking a bit better. At least we're looking upwards and not downwards at the moment anyway.
And did you have any choice in what team you supported?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know.
No. It was always going to be Stoke.
You grew up in Stoke. Did you grow up in Stoke, Craig?
Yeah, that's it. My dad took me to his first game in, I think it was 1986 against West Brom, a Tuesday night, just after my birthday. It was a thrilling 0-0. But obviously, hoops from that moment on, because I've been going ever since.
And Annie, when did you start going to games and having an interest in it?
So my first game was Crystal Palace away, the 23rd of October 2007. and Stoke won 3-1. Shawcross and Richard Creswell scored. So, yeah, great away game, to be fair. I think we got the coach down as well. Yeah, I've been from that moment, and now we go pretty much every home and away game that we can.
Brilliant. Okay.
But isn't it fascinating how we all remember our first games, right? I remember my first Norwich game. My uncle took me 1992, Nottingham Forest at home, Monday night football. Sky had just taken over. Obviously, they reinvented football in 1992, right, with the introduction of the Premiership as it was then. We had those silly Sky grid girls, dancing girls, and the fireworks and all that nonsense. I remember Ian Cook chipping it in the free kick into the top corner as I was on the back end of the River End as it was then. I think we all remember our first games, right? And Annie, a fantastic memory. I don't know whether you've did the research of the date before the podcast, but you remember the date, you remember the goals, you remember the scores. We all remember those first games, right? And the memories that they create for all of us are fantastic.
We certainly do. I can remember most Stoke games, to be fair, some better than others.
Annie, what's your fondest memory of your Stoke? What's your favourite home game that you've ever been to see, and your favourite away game?
Favourite home game. I haven't really got one that I can pinpoint, but any time we've played Arsenal at home in the Premier League, when it was Arsene Wenger and everyone used to do this and throw their hands up in the air, copying off him. Those were the days. Those were the good days, especially when we had Arnautovic and Shaqiri up front. Favourite away game. It's not really a away game, but when we played Bolton in the semi-final in the Cup at Wembley, that was probably one of my best days as a Stoke fan. And my dad can probably agree with that as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get beat, to be fair, unless we won the FA Cup.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Cillian? What's your favourite ever Norwich away game?
Away game. I really love the away games, as you know, Nick, more than probably the home games. There's always a great atmosphere. Favorite one? Ooh, you've caught me out now. I mean, I can think of away day experiences that have been monumental. The football might have ruined it a little bit.
Normally does.
It can do. I actually one game I do remember not that long ago was our last time we played Southampton. That 3-3 draw at the start of the season, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Was it 3-3 or 4-3? I can't remember, but yeah, great game. We thought we'd got that in the bag as well, didn't we? And winning right at the end. So never a penalty either, was it?
We've a habit of doing that, all right.
Definitely. What about you, Craig? What's your favourite away game memory as we're looking at obviously away games here today?
Been quite a few. I'm getting back a bit here for my favourite away game. When we played Port Vale in a Derby match, a night game once, and we won 2-0, went 10 points clear, top of the league. Mark Steen scored both goals. Them memories live long in my mind because we don't play Vale very often, and that was a great win.
I've got two for me that immediately spring to mind. Probably Bayern Munich in the UEFA Cup. Apart from the long coach trip, I think my favourite ever away game, and I'll be surprised if it ever gets topped, is beating that lot down the road 5-1 at Portman Road. What a match that was! What an atmosphere that was! And beating the local rivals 5-1 on their patch is going to be a tough one to beat. I think for me, for sure.
For sure. Nick, I presume you were driving and you probably know where you're going to be parking, but generally speaking...
I was going to ask Craig just that question, to be fair, Cillian. Yeah, I've got an idea in my mind, but yeah, crack on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we park on the same car park that directs the away fans too, because literally I could be home in 10 minutes from where he puts us. It's literally on the industrial estate around the ground. It's BFM Motor Factors. BFM, isn't it?
BFM
Europe. It's like it's signposted for the visitors away car park.
Okay.
I think it's £8, and they only take cash because the amount of cars I've seen turn up and not got cash and being turned away. So there's a
good top tip.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of cars. Who did we play last weekend? Birmingham. The amount of cars that turn around because they've got no cash, and you direct them to the nearest cash point, which is about 2 miles away. So definitely have a tenner on you. It's £8 to park up, and it's literally 5 minutes. It probably ain't even 5 minutes to the way end from there.
Okay.
It's always been easy to get on as long as you're there early enough, and it might be a bit of a queue to get out, but you're straight onto the main A50, and then you can get onto the A500 M6. So I've never had any issues on there either. So
I was
recommend that.
I was chatting with one of my friends earlier about this. We travelled up together a few years ago, and we parked at the you go past the ground, and it's probably about 3/4 of a mile down the left-hand side. There's a side road, and it's like a cricket club or a rugby club. And
Rugby,
it took
yeah.
about 3 hours to get out. In fact, I think there's probably still cars getting out from that game now. It took that long. For the last few years, I've just parked at the Harvester, to be fair, which is obviously, you know, the
Yeah.
away pub. It's normally where I tend to get a bite to eat. Like you said, the traffic getting out afterwards is a bit of a pain, but when
Yeah.
isn't it at the football, to be fair?
No,
But I assume that's fairly near where you're talking
But
about
the
there,
Harvester
Craig,
is
anyway.
the next roundabout up, just straight over there. So it's literally a minute walk to the Harvester from that car park. If you
And
head
which
into the Harvester, you'll probably...
Which is quickest to get out of at the end of the game, the Harvester or the place that you park from?
I wouldn't say as much journey, to be fair. You're both due into the same roundabout to get out, so
Yeah.
there's not much journey, is there?
I'd say our car park BFM up on
Do you
because
reckon?
all the Stoke coaches go first before the Harvester traffic.
Well, yeah, maybe so then. Maybe so.
Okay.
You talk-
Well, I'm changing
We're
where I'm
doing it.
parking then when we come up in a couple of weeks, and I'll be on the phone to you if it's a bit of a mess getting out afterwards. So I was just talking there about the Harvester. That's normally where Cillian and I and Olivia tend to get a bite to eat. But you know, one thing we like to cover in here is the various eateries around the away grounds that we cover in this podcast. Annie, where's the best place to get a burger or a bite to eat in and around the ground? It's nowhere near the city centre, is it? So it's it's quite a way out on its own.
There's not many places, so there's only a couple. So there's the Harvester or there's the Power League, the five-a-side venue. They do pizzas and I think sausage rolls and stuff in there. Other than that, you've just got like your burger vans and all food in the ground, really.
Okay,
Is there any
perfect.
burger van in particular you'd recommend? I know it sounds a bit of a stupid question, but
They're
that-
all about the name.
there's always a favourite one, no?
Don't know if there is. I think it was...
The one on the corner near Harvesters, that's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We generally look out for the one that has the most home fans queuing outside. That's
Yeah,
a good sign.
probably where the outside the fan zone. I think there's a couple because there's a fan zone now. I
Okay.
don't do away fans allowed in, but outside there's a few different choices. So
Yeah.
there might be something around there. I wouldn't.
I always remember that at Anfield, Cillian. We always tend to get Liverpool in the cup, and I don't know if you remember, we walked to the ground, and you walk past like 25 burger vans with nobody queuing at them, and then there's one with like 50 or 60 locals all queuing in. You think there's got to be something wrong with these other ones. So yeah, it's always a good watch out to do that. To be fair. Now, obviously, the Harvester is probably the most well-known away pub. I think it's pretty much designated for away fans. Although, to be fair, there's always some Stoke fans in there as well. But are there any other key places for the away fans? You know, it can be thirsty work watching football. Is there anywhere else that people can grab a pint?
There's up where the Power League is. There's an actual cricket club. I'm sure away fans are allowed in there. Hemmy's Cricket Club it's called, and you can get a pint for a reasonable price up there. I've only been up there once pre-game, but there's plenty of people who recommend it. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend a walk into town because you just never know what's going to happen in there. In the middle of Stoke Town Centre, it's not the best place on a normal day, so I definitely wouldn't recommend going in there for a drink anyway. But there's plenty of places on the way in, I suppose. It's just...
Is there anywhere around the train station, Craig?
Yeah, if going by train, I think the directions, is it the Terrace pub? I think.
Terrace, yeah.
You
Outside
walk-
Staff Uni.
Yeah, they'll walk you past the university or direct you past the university. It's like a pub on a corner on a main road where I've seen plenty of away fans when I've been driving to the ground myself. If I go that. I think it's called the Terrace. I'm sure it is. I'm not sure what road's that. Is that Leek Road?
Leek Road, yeah.
Yeah, the Terrace on Leek Road. But if you go by train, I think that's where they direct the away fans away from the town centre.
Okay, because I know the last time I was there, I got a bus from the stadium back into the city. Now, I didn't have it on the way out, and I was probably the only Norwich fan on the bus. It seemed to be just full of Stoke fans, but
yeah, they still do, don't they? I've seen that the other day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the ground if we can very very quickly. Obviously, last season the away fans got moved into the corner from our previous home, which was on the other corner. To be fair, that had no side to it and was always bloody freezing. Now it's always cold in Stoke anyway. We never get you in the summer. What was the thought process of moving the away fans into that other corner? Is it safe standing related, or what was behind the move there? Do we know?
Yeah, I think the main reason was that Stoke fans complained that if the referee ever had a bad game, that he just got away scot-free. He could just walk down. The away fans didn't give any grief if they'd have won. So I think that definitely has something to do with it. So whenever they set the ground up from the start, I don't think he was in the right place where they put the away fans. So it definitely makes a better atmosphere now where it is anyway with the away fans, because most teams seem to fill it. It definitely seems a better atmosphere now.
And I have sat in there when England women played as well, and it is a pretty good view, to be fair.
Right, yeah. And just talking about atmosphere, like how would you describe for Norwich fans who've never been to Stoke, how would you describe the atmosphere in the stadium, and is there any chance we should be listing out for?
Well, at this moment in time, the atmosphere is quite good because we're doing
Yeah.
quite well. If you asked me that question last year, then it's pretty drab to where it has been, because the Premier League days they were really good. But yeah, we're getting back to where we should be, with the manager and the players all on one pulling in one direction now. So, and then you've got the famous chant of Delilah, which no doubt will be ringing round if we're doing well. It probably will, even if we aren't. But yeah, Delilah is the main one, besides another few. But that's the main club anthem.
Army.
And what's the attendance like now? I have to be honest and say the last few times I've been to Stoke, the ground is probably only been 50% full of home fans. You know, it's I guess challenging times, like you say, poor football. The economic climate at the moment. If the football's not great, then people aren't wasting their money on going to watch poor football, are they? But is it a little bit better this season with the strong start that you've made? And is Mark Robins, is he dragging the people back to their seats?
I think he is, definitely. I think we've averaged about 25,000 so far. And don't get me wrong, the away end's been full 3 times out of 3, Birmingham, Derby and West Brom, so that does help. But the fans are definitely coming back on board, and he's getting them back on board. Winning games always helps, doesn't he? So, it's not full by a long way. I think it's holds over 30,000 now. The corner got filled in from the Premier League days, which was a year too late. But carry on winning games, and you stay near the top. The fans will turn up like any club, really.
Talking about Mark Robins, like how are the Stoke fans taking to him?
I think he's doing well so far. He seems to have turned a corner. We're winning games. Our defence is solid, and they're really good in attack going forward. Obviously, we lost to West Brom at home, but other than that, I think it's a big improvement from last year.
Okay, good to see it. And how is Ben Gibson, our last export to?
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's pulled up any trees for Stoke at the moment. He seems to be a bit of a scapegoat when he plays. That was last season more, though, when we didn't do very well. He's more of a bit part player, to be fair. He's experienced. He knows where to be on the pitch. But at the moment, I don't think he'll be getting too near the team. He might be on the bench, but he's not played 2 games. I think he played a couple of cup games, hasn't he, so far? But other than that, I wouldn't say the Stoke fans are too endeavoured by him at the moment.
And as an Irishman, I have to ask about Jonathan Walters. How's he proceeded?
Yeah, Jonathan Walters went from hero to zero very quickly last season after getting rid of Schumacher, who he admitted it was him who got rid of him when the fans were really, really starting to get behind him.
Yeah,
the results weren't great, but he was building something with the fans.
We met him, didn't we?
After
the way last season.
We did.
And then he
He's
went
a lovely guy, but then he went to sack Schumacher, and then the next appointment from Narcis Pilak, I have no idea what was going on there, but it went from bad to worse, and every bit of respect he did from the Stoke fans was lost very quickly. But the appointment of Robins and some of the players we've signed seems to gradually gain him back on side, and he does come out and say the right things. So you couldn't fault him as a player, brilliant for Stoke, scored plenty of crucial goals, and he couldn't fault his effort. He was always 100%. But he didn't go from hero to zero, but he's working his way back now.
Annie, one thing we like to cover on these podcasts for our younger listeners, assuming we have some younger listeners, we don't actually know, to be fair, but is the arrival of the team coach, giving our younger fans the opportunity to to see the players off the bus. Now, my knowledge of Stoke is that bus normally pulls in into the fenced area, and you don't really get much opportunity to interact with the players. Is that still the case this season? And and what can young fans expect in terms of meeting and greeting the players?
Yeah, that is still the same situation. I think for home fans, they usually sign autographs and stuff through the fence, but I don't think the away fans have the chance to do that because they don't come up to the gate.
No, it's not great, is it?
No.
They park in the way
A little car park.
yeah, parks in the car, but you can't really get anywhere near them, to be fair, can you?
No.
Yeah,
So the best chances are probably at the end of the game if they come over to the corner.
yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Okay. And anybody, I mean, it's a bit of a trek for people from Norwich. Neither myself or Nick are coming from Norwich, but for people from Norwich, it's a bit of a trek. So if people wanted to stay in Stoke, is there anywhere you'd recommend they stay?
Yeah, the Holiday Inn, isn't it? Right next to the Harvest there. I've never stayed there myself, but I've seen away fans being in there, definitely. So I'm not sure of prices or anything, availability. Obviously, at weekends you might get a bit busy, but that Holiday Inn, you couldn't get any closer to the ground, to be fair.
That's for sure, yeah.
It's right next to the Harvest. It was a minute walk to the ground, so that's one place to play. Stay, isn't it? I'm not sure about any
Yeah.
others, to be fair.
Football teams stay at the Hilton Garden Hotel in the town centre.
Okay.
So I don't know if that could be a place people look into, because if it's good enough for some teams to stay in there, it's good enough for just normal people like us.
Could be, yeah. You would think so, yeah. And
Definitely.
if people wanted to,
Annie, what's your prediction for the match? What do you what does your heart tell you is going to be the result, and who's going to be bagging the goals for Stoke? I mean, obviously from Cillian and I's perspective, hopefully nobody. But what are your thoughts about the game?
I'm going to say Stoke's going to win 2-1 because I'm always going to back my team. Don't think it's going to be an easy game. Who do I think is going to score? Sorba Thomas. And then I think who's going to score for Norwich? I think you'll get the next goal.
But you don't know many Norwich players, do you?
No, is it
Sargent will have
Sargent?
to-
Yeah, if
Yeah.
one person will score, you'll probably be him. won't
He'll score next, and then we'll score the winner, and I think that'll be Divan Mibama.
All right, well,
What
we'll
do you
make a
reckon,
note of
Nick?
that, and we'll see. We'll see on the day, shall we?
What do you think, Craig? Do you concur?
Norwich, we've had some strange results against Norwich at home. I think we beat them 5 once. We've lost. Did we draw last year? I think we drew last year on 1. I'm not sure.
1-1. Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Manuf. I'm going to go for. Might be totally wrong.
Could you make it any more boring, Craig, than a
Well,
1-0 home win?
To be fair, what we're going to say, we've had 3-1, 0-1, 1-0. So
Yeah.
I'm keeping in line with them.
2-1's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Has Norwich been scoring many goals? I've not been really looking, to be fair, Norwich.
We've been up and down a bit.
Yeah.
We've had a horrendous home form so far,
Yeah.
and a very
That way, though.
very good away form.
Oh, right. So.
So like,
Our own record used to be dreadful, but gradually we're getting there with home form. If you win your own games or don't lose your own games, you give yourself a chance, don't you? So
yeah, but
I think
we
that's where you
definitely not giving ourselves a chance. Times I think we've lost all
No.
games, but we have won 2 of our away games.
Yeah.
3 was it, Nick, with including the cup?
Yeah, with the cup game as well. Yeah, definitely. Well, I know you were talking about home attendance probably at 26,000. You've had sold out away ends so far. I've just had a quick look while we've been talking, and there's probably about 150, 200 seats left in the away end at the moment. So I think a good home result on Saturday might just see those.
It's a great following, to be fair, from your lot, because I've been Norwich several times. It's a long, long way, especially if it's against you. So, and they've always been well supported. Every time I've been Stoke Norwich game at Stoke Ground, the away fan has been brilliant, to be fair to her. Always plenty of shirts on the show. Always plenty of shirts.
Yeah, we travel well, and we travel well in colours as well.
Yeah.
We're definitely a team that travels in colours, and there's always a few in the designer coats, but most fans travelling to Norwich away games will travel in their colours for sure. And it's always good to see. The away end atmospheres this season have actually been probably some of the best away end atmospheres that I can remember in a number of years, and the away form has been fantastic. So personally, I'm looking forward to another really good game, game on the road. I always enjoy Stoke. For me personally, it's a pretty much a straight blast up the at the A14 and M1 and across the A50. So it's a super easy and not too bad a drive at all. So yeah, looking forward to getting the wheels on the road and enjoying another away day for sure.
Yeah.
Just a question for you, Craig, and Ali. Maybe I don't know if you're old enough to remember it, but we want to talk about Port Vale and the rivalries. I get that you haven't. Was it 2002 the last time you played them?
I've got it written down somewhere in front of me. 2002, and we lost 1-0 at home.
Yeah.
Although we play an under-21 game, I don't know if you ever heard about that, where Stoke's under-21s played Port Vale's first team in that EFL trophy.
Okay.
Stoke had more fans than now, and there was absolute carnage. And absolute carnage. Whenever they do play,
No.
I dread to
Was the atmosphere a bit spicy, I would imagine?
I see. I don't think people outside of the area really understand. I know every team says that when you've got a derby game,
Yeah.
you and Ipswich, but because it's been so long, I think that it just builds itself up until it actually happens. So when it does happen, it will be fireworks going off somewhere, no doubt.
And is there another rivalry? Like you mentioned some of the Midlands clubs there, like West Brom and Derby and Birmingham. Would you consider them rivals?
Well, for me, Derby definitely, because I
Derby,
work at a big factory near here, so it's sort of half and half here. So any game at Derby where we do well is always nice.
And you call a sickie then when you don't well.
Yeah. You do.
I mean, obviously, we all go to football to try and enjoy it. Is there anything besides the obvious that Norwich fans should, or any areas or places that they should avoid, just in terms of safety?
Just a town centre. I would advise going to town centre. Other than that, around the ground, there's plenty of stewards and police around. There's not really much around the ground either, to be fair, is there? But avoid the town centre, really. I'm not saying definitely don't go there, but if you don't want any grief, I'd stay away from there. I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but it's not worth the risk.
No, of course, yeah. Anything else, Nick?
No. I was just about to say to Craig and Annie, a massive thanks for jumping on, taking the time to talk us through your love of Stoke City, the do's and don'ts of a day out in Stoke. Super grateful for you taking the time. Hopefully, we'll get to see you on match day. If not, you certainly have the hospitality of Cillian and I if you come to the reverse fixture at Carrow Road. You'd be very welcome to join us for a drink and a bite to eat. So thanks for taking the time to join us on our latest episode of On the Road City. And Cillian will probably now play us out with one of his famous tunes.
Yeah, so just for Craig and Annie's benefit, we are about to launch a Christmas rock album. Every week in the away match, we launch a new rock song. And this week, we're going to play you out with Canaries and the Potteries. Special song for the occasion. So listen, thank you, fans, for tuning in. And
Thank you.
Trip to Stoke. Thank you.
Thank you.